For 40 years, this concrete box has been the temple of the American consumer. It is a place built on a very specific, almost religious set of rules. Buy in bulk, keep the floors bare, don't advertise, and above all else, keep the prices so low that they defy the logic of modern economics. We know Costco for the $5 rotisserie chicken, a bird sold at a financial loss just to get you in the door. We know it for the gallon-sized jars of mayonnaise and the apocalypse-ready packs of toilet paper. It is the retailer of the mundane, the practical, and the consumable. It is where you go to stock up for a barbecue or a blizzard. But in late 2023, amidst the pallets of paper towels and the towers of laundry detergent, something changed. A new item appeared in the glass jewelry case at the front of the store, nestled between the diamond tennis bracelets and the Seiko watches. It wasn't a bulk consumable, it wasn't a flat-screen TV, it was a financial asset. At first, it seemed like a novelty. A treasure hunt, item designed to generate a few headlines. A PR stunt to remind people that Costco sells more than just groceries. But then, the data started coming in, and the numbers weren't just surprising, they were earth-shattering. In early 2024, equity analysts at Wells Fargo dropped a bombshell report that sent ripples through Wall Street and the global precious metals market. They estimated that Costco, the store where you buy your ketchup by the bucket, was selling between $100 and $200 million worth of gold and silver every single month. Let that number sink in. That is an annualized run rate of nearly $2.5 billion. To put that into perspective, that figure places a membership warehouse club in the same league as some of the largest specialized sovereign mints and bullion dealers in the world. Practically overnight, Costco transformed from a grocer into a market whale. Today, we are going to unpack exactly how this happened. We will look at the genius behind the strategy, the razor-thin economics that make it possible, and the logistical miracle required to move tons of precious metal through a retail supply chain. This is the story of the Costco Whale. To understand the magnitude of this shift, we first have to understand the product itself. Costco didn't just throw random scrap gold into a box. They approached bullion with the same merchandising rigor they apply to their wines or their electronics. They curated the best. The primary product that launched this craze was the 1-ounce bar from Pamp Suisse. Pamp, based in the canton of Ticino, Switzerland, is often considered the Rolls-Royce of the bullion world. Their bars are struck with a mirror-like finish and feature intricate artistic designs, most notably the Lady Fortuna. In a market often plagued by generic cast bars, Pamp signals immediate liquidity and trust. When you hold a Pamp bar, you know it is 9999 pure, that is 4 nines fine gold. But why does the brand matter? In the world of gold, liquidity is everything. If you buy a generic bar from an unknown refinery and you try to sell it later, the dealer will likely have to drill it, melt it, or assay it to prove it's real. That costs money, which lowers the price they pay you. But a Pamp bar is recognized instantly in Mumbai, London, New York, and Hong Kong. You can walk into almost any dealer in the world and they will buy it on site. By selling Pamp, Costco wasn't just selling gold, they were selling money. Costco also partnered with the Rand refinery in South Africa, the legendary refinery responsible for the Krugerrand, perhaps the most famous gold coin in history. By choosing these top-tier, globally recognized brands, Costco bypassed the biggest hurdle in the physical gold market: legitimacy. If you walk into a pawn shop or click on a banner ad for cheap gold, your guard is up. Is it fake? Is it plated? Is the weight accurate? The gold market is notoriously opaque, filled with predatory premiums and anxiety. But Costco is different. You trust Costco to inspect the quality of your salmon. You trust them to vet the durability of your tires. That halo of trust extended immediately to the gold bars. If Costco is selling it, the average consumer assumes it is legitimate. But the product was only half the equation. The real driver of this frenzy was the distribution model. In true Costco fashion, the gold bars were listed online with very little fanfare, and within hours, sometimes minutes, they would display that dreaded yet addictive banner: out of stock. One specific technical detail that Costco emphasized was the Veriskin technology on the Pamp bars. This is a proprietary scanning system that acts like a fingerprint for metal. Gold, when it cools, forms microscopic topographical mountains and valleys on the surface of the bar. These are unique to every single pore. The Pamp Veriskin app allows a user to scan the bar with their iPhone. The app compares the metal's topography to a digital database in Switzerland. If it matches, the bar is authentic. Costco included this feature prominently in the product description. Why? Because they know their customer. The Costco shopper is pragmatic. They aren't experts. They don't own acid testing kits or expensive spectrometers. By selling a bar that validates itself with an app, Costco removed the technical barrier to entry. They told the suburban mom and the dad in Ohio, "You don't need to be an expert, you just need a phone." This technological assurance was the bridge that allowed non-investors to cross the chasm. It turned a risky specialist purchase into a consumer electronic purchase. It was plug-and-play gold. The phenomenon quickly moved from the warehouse to the living room. Unboxing videos of Costco Gold began to flood social media. There is something viscerally satisfying about holding a gold bar. It is heavy, denser than lead. It feels real in a way that a stock certificate or a Bitcoin wallet never can. For many of these buyers, this was their first time owning physical bullion. The comments on these videos reveal a mix of awe and financial anxiety. Ah! Finally got one. Does it come with insurance? I'm keeping this in the safe forever. This social proof was invaluable. Costco didn't spend millions on TV ads telling you to buy gold. They let their members do it for them. Every Reddit post showing a receipt, every Instagram story showing the Lady Fortuna acted as a peer-to-peer endorsement. It created a FOMO loop. If your neighbor bought gold at Costco, you felt like you should too. It normalized the idea of hoarding precious metals, moving it from the fringe of doomsday prepping to the mainstream of smart shopping. We have to look at the demographics here. Traditionally, gold buyers are older, conservative, and male. But the Costco social media wave brought in millennials and Gen Z. A viral TikTok with 2 million views showing a 24-year-old unboxing a gold bar changed the face of the market. Costco accidentally made gold trendy. Now, let's talk about the logistics of moving $200 million a month. This isn't like shipping cereal. If a box of cereal breaks, you sweep it up. If a box of gold breaks or goes missing, it is a catastrophe. Costco utilizes a direct-to-consumer model for the majority of these sales. While you might find a bar in a store occasionally, the volume is happening online. This means Costco is relying on carriers like UPS and FedEx to be the last-mile delivery for billions of dollars of wealth. This carries immense risk. We have seen reports on Reddit of empty box scams, where a customer receives a sealed UPS box, but the gold is gone. This creates a he said, she said nightmare. Did the driver steal it? Did a warehouse worker steal it? Did the customer lie? Costco generally requires a signature for these deliveries, but we all know that sometimes drivers just leave the box. If a $2,400 bar is left on a porch and stolen, Costco is usually the one who eats that cost. The fact that they are continuing this program suggests that their theft rate is remarkably low, or their insurance policy is remarkably good. Once the gold proof of concept was validated, Costco didn't hesitate. They expanded the program. Soon, tubes of 25 silver coins, specifically the Canadian maple leaf and the American silver eagle, appeared on the site. Silver is often called the poor man's gold, or the people's money, because it is far more accessible. A tube of 25 silver coins might cost $600 to $800 compared to the $2,400 price tag of a gold bar. This opened the floodgates to a whole new tier of members who couldn't afford the gold bar but wanted in on the action. The silver sales followed the exact same pattern. Rapid sellouts, viral social media posts, and massive volume. The Wells Fargo report indicated that silver was becoming a significant component of that 200 million monthly figure. Costco had effectively become a full-service bullion dealer, carrying the two most popular monetary metals in the world. But this expansion brought new questions. Selling gold is one thing, making money on it is another. Retail margins on groceries are razor thin, usually 11 to 14%. Margins on gold are even thinner. How could Costco possibly sell this much metal without losing their shirts? And how were customers hacking the system to buy it cheaper than the spot price? Buying gold is usually a grudge purchase. You pay the spot price plus a hefty premium to the dealer, plus shipping, plus insurance. You usually start your investment 5% to 10% in the hole. You're losing money the second you click buy. Costco flipped this script. They inadvertently created a mathematical loophole that allows savvy members to buy gold effectively below the spot price. This is the story of the Costco Arbitrage. The secret sauce of the Costco Gold Rush isn't just the sticker price, it is the reward stack. Here's the math that broke the internet. First, you have the executive membership. This costs extra up front, but it pays you a 2% reward on all qualifying Costco purchases, capped at a certain amount per year. Second, you have the Costco Anywhere Visa card by Citi or any other high-yield credit card, which offers substantial cash back. Specifically, 2% on purchases made at Costco. When you combine these, you are getting an effective 4% discount on everything you buy. Now, apply that to gold. Let's say the spot price of gold is $2,250. Costco, operating on razor-thin margins, might list the bar for $2,390, a tiny premium of roughly 1.7%. To a normal person, that looks like a fair deal. But to the stacked executive member, the math is different. They pay $2,390 at checkout. They get roughly $47.80 back in their annual reward check. They get another $47.80 back in their credit card points. Their total effective cost is roughly $2,294. Look at that final number, $2,294. That is roughly $56 below the spot price of gold. In the precious metals world, buying under spot is the holy grail. It almost never happens for retail investors. Usually, to buy under spot, you have to be a wholesaler buying $10 million of metal at a time. Costco democratized this wholesale power. They allowed the suburban mom and the retired teacher to acquire assets at a price point that even professional coin dealers cannot match. This negative premium loop is a massive driver of the $200 million monthly figure. It turned gold from a defensive asset into a deal. And if there is one thing a Costco shopper cannot resist, it is a deal. This brings us to the question, why would Costco do this? Why would they sell gold at such a low price, potentially losing money after credit card processing fees and shipping? The answer lies in the concept of the loss leader. Costco sells rotisserie chickens for $4.99, losing millions of dollars a year on poultry. Why? Because the chickens are in the back of the store. To get there, you have to walk past the TVs, the jewelry, and the clothes. Gold serves a similar, though digital, function. It drives stickiness. Costco doesn't necessarily want to make a profit on the gold bar itself. They want you to renew that $130 executive membership so you can keep getting your 2% reward. They want you checking the Costco app every single morning to see if the gold is in stock. It is about share of mind and share of wallet. If you spend $2,400 on a gold bar at Costco, that is $2,400 you didn't invest in the S&P 500 via a brokerage. It is $2,400 you didn't spend at a local coin shop. You have locked yourself into the Costco ecosystem. The marketing value of this phenomenon alone is worth millions. Every time a major news outlet writes about Costco Gold, it reinforces the brand's image as the ultimate destination for value. It makes the membership feel more valuable. I better keep my membership, just in case I want to buy gold later. We cannot overstate the psychological barrier that Costco removed. The gold industry has a severe reputation problem. For decades, it has been associated with high-pressure sales tactics, late-night cable TV infomercials, and confusing pricing models. Many consumers are terrified of getting ripped off. Numismatic coins, rare collectible coins, are often sold to seniors at markups of 30%, 40%, or even 100%. The bullion market is safer, but still intimidating. Who do you trust to ship you a valuable coin in the mail? Costco bypassed this entire anxiety loop. The brand promise of Costco is simple. We curated this, and we stand behind it. Even though the gold is non-refundable, the trust remains. Consumers think, if Costco is selling Pamp Suisse, it must be the real Pamp Suisse. This opened the market to a demographic I call the prepper light. We tend to stereotype gold buyers as doomsday preppers, people building bunkers in the woods, waiting for the collapse of civilization. But the Costco sales data suggests a different customer, the prepper light. This is someone who isn't expecting the end of the world, but they are worried about the economy. They see the price of eggs and insurance premiums going up. They hear about the national debt. They feel a low-level, persistent financial anxiety. They don't want to buy cryptocurrency. It's too volatile and confusing. They don't want to day trade stocks. They want insurance. Walking past a pallet of gold bars online triggers a primal instinct. I should probably have some of that, just in case. By placing gold in the same context as toilet paper and canned tuna, Costco normalized asset accumulation. They reframed gold from a speculative investment to a household staple. Just as you stock up on AA batteries because you might need them later, you stock up on a gold bar because, well, you might need it later. This normalization is a powerful psychological shift. It removes the stigma of being a hoarder and replaces it with the virtue of being prepared. We cannot discuss this trend without discussing the economic environment. The Wells Fargo report landed during a period of persistent, sticky inflation. Regardless of your political affiliation, the reality of the 2020s is that money buys less than it used to. Gold has historically been viewed as a hedge against inflation, a store of value that preserves purchasing power over centuries. An ounce of gold in Roman times bought a nice toga and a pair of sandals. An ounce of gold today buys a nice suit and a pair of shoes. It holds its ground. It is crucial to understand that Costco is not making a political statement by selling gold. They are making a commercial observation. They saw their members buying backup generators. They saw them buying freeze-dried food kits. They saw them buying safes. Gold was simply the next logical SKU to add to the security category. They are fulfilling a demand that already existed. The genius was in recognizing that the demand for financial security is just as high as the demand for cheap groceries. Another psychological barrier Costco obliterated is friction. To buy gold from a traditional bullion dealer, you often have to wire money, which incurs bank fees, write a paper check to avoid credit card processing fees, or upload identification for Know Your Customer compliance. It is a hassle. It feels like a process. At Costco, if you are a member, your credit card and shipping address are already saved. You can buy a $2,400 gold bar while waiting in line to pick up your kids from school. You can do it with Face ID and 2 taps. This frictionless buying is dangerous for the wallet, but brilliant for sales volume. It makes a major financial decision feel like an impulse buy. The barriers to entry, finding a dealer, vetting them, setting up payment, waiting for clearance, are all gone. Costco made buying bullion as easy as ordering a pizza. And there is a generational aspect to this friction. Younger buyers, millennials and Gen Z, are used to one-click ordering. They have grown up with Amazon. The idea of wiring money to a stranger to buy gold feels archaic to them. But buying it on an app, that feels native. Costco bridged the gap between the old world asset and the new world behavior. And finally, there is the cool factor. Buying gold from a coin shop feels antiquated. Buying gold from Costco feels like a hack. It became a status symbol to post your Costco gold bar on Instagram. It signaled that you were smart enough to find the deal, wealthy enough to afford it, and prepared enough to hold it. It became a conversation starter at dinner parties. Did you see Costco had silver eagles today? This word-of-mouth viral loop is something traditional dealers would kill for. Costco got it for free. So we have the perfect storm. A trusted brand, an economic environment of anxiety, a friction-free buying process, and a reward structure that allows members to buy below spot price. It is no wonder they became a market whale. But what happens when a grocery store becomes one of the biggest gold dealers in the country? We have looked at the numbers, and we have analyzed the psychology. Now we have to look at the impact. When a giant like Costco enters a niche market, they don't just participate, they disrupt. The Costco effect is real, and it is reshaping the landscape of the precious metals industry. Local coin shops, online giants, and even sovereign mints are watching closely. Is Costco a threat to the little guy, or are they expanding the pie for everyone? The sheer scale of moving $200 million a month means Costco isn't just a retailer anymore. They are a market force. When they enter the market to restock, they absorb a significant percentage of the available retail supply of Pamp Suisse bars. This creates a vacuum effect. You might assume that local coin dealers hate Costco. After all, how can a small mom-and-pop shop compete with a giant that sells at zero profit margin and offers 4% cash back? But the reality is nuanced. I spoke with several coin dealers for this research, and the consensus is surprising. Many of them love Costco. Why? Because Costco is creating new gold buyers. Remember, Costco sells bars, but they don't buy them back. When a Costco member decides to sell their gold to pay for a vacation, a medical emergency, or a down payment on a house, they can't take it back to the returns desk. They have to go to a local coin shop or a pawn shop. Costco is effectively acting as a massive onboarding ramp for the precious metals industry. They are flooding the secondary market with high-quality Pampa Suisse bars. Local dealers are seeing an influx of customers walking in with Costco bars to sell. This provides the shops with inventory they can flip. Furthermore, once a customer catches the gold bug at Costco, they often seek out other items Costco doesn't sell, like vintage coins, fractional gold, or platinum. Costco is the gateway drug to coin collecting. However, there is a downside for dealers. Customers are now anchored to the Costco price, but there's a darker, more chaotic side to this economy. The flippers. We mentioned the arbitrage earlier, buying below spot price using rewards. Some users are taking this to the extreme. They are churning. I found users on specialized credit card forums who claim to cycle tens of thousands of dollars a month through Costco Gold. These people aren't gold investors. They are points hackers. They are using Costco Gold as a vehicle to manufacture spending. They are literally flying first class to Tokyo on the back of Pamp Suisse bars bought in the cereal aisle. This creates a weird distortion in the market. It means that a significant percentage of Costco's sales might be artificial demand from people who have no intention of keeping the gold. If Costco or the credit card companies ever crack down on this manufactured spending, perhaps by excluding bullion from rewards, the sales volume could drop overnight. It is a house of cards built on loyalty points. There's another layer to the Costco strategy that is purely geographic: taxes. In the United States, sales tax on precious metals is a patchwork of confusing state laws. Some states, like Alaska and Delaware, have no sales tax at all. Others, like California, charge sales tax unless you buy over a certain amount, currently $2,000, in a single transaction. This is where Costco's pricing of the 1-ounce bar is genius. By pricing it at roughly $2,300 to $2,400, they automatically push the transaction over the tax threshold in many states that have bulk purchase exemptions. If they sold 1/10 ounce coins for $240s, customers in California would get hit with a sales tax, often 7 to 10%, ruining the investment. By selling the big bar, they inadvertently or intentionally optimize the purchase for tax avoidance in several key jurisdictions. However, pitfalls remain. We have seen reports of members in states like New Jersey or Maryland being charged tax incorrectly online, leading to customer service nightmares. It is a complex web, and every buyer has to be their own tax accountant. Costco's success is a massive vote of confidence for physical ownership. For years, financial advisors have told people to buy paper gold, exchange-traded funds like GLD or IAU, if they want exposure to the metal. It's easier, they say. No storage fees, no risk of theft. But the Costco shopper is rejecting that advice. They want the asset in their hand. This aligns with a broader trend of counterparty risk awareness. People are realizing that if they hold a stock, they rely on a broker. If they hold a physical bar, they rely only on themselves. By selling physical delivery only, Costco is reinforcing the maxim: if you don't hold it, you don't own it. This is a significant cultural shift away from the digitization of assets. In a world of NFTs and intangible crypto tokens, the oldest analog asset is making the biggest comeback, driven by the most mainstream retailer in America. Let's follow the trajectory to its logical conclusion. Costco provides mortgages, they provide auto insurance, they provide payment processing for merchants, and now they provide hard currency. Are we looking at the proto stages of a Costco bank? If millions of Americans are trusting Costco with their savings in the form of gold, is it a stretch to imagine Costco offering a high-yield savings account backed by gold? Or a gold depository service where you buy the bar, but Costco stores it for you in a secure vault for a small fee? It sounds crazy until you realize that retailers like Starbucks have more cash loaded on user gift cards than some regional banks have in deposits. Retailers are becoming banks. Costco has the liquidity, the trust, and now the asset class to do it. The Costco Whale might just be the baby photo of a new financial giant. Imagine a future where you scan your membership card at the checkout, and instead of paying in dollars, you pay with a fraction of your stored gold balance. It sounds like science fiction, but the infrastructure is being built right now, one pant bar at a time. Of course, this isn't without risk. If the price of gold crashes, Costco members will feel the pain. They might blame the store, even though Costco doesn't control the market. There is also the risk of fakes entering the ecosystem via the gray market, tarnishing the reputation of the bars. But for now, the experiment is a resounding success. Skeptics might say this is a top signal. Historically, when the general public rushes into an asset, it often signals a peak. When grandmothers are buying stocks, it's time to sell. But the Costco Whale phenomenon feels different. It isn't driven by speculative mania like the dot-com bubble or the NFT craze. It is driven by a defensive posture. People aren't buying Costco gold to get rich quick. They are buying it to stay safe. That suggests this is a structural shift, not a speculative bubble. As long as inflation remains a concern and trust in institutions wobbles, the demand for Costco gold will likely persist. In the history of retail, there have been many revolutions. Amazon changed how we buy books. Netflix changed how we consume media. And now, Costco has changed how we save money. By selling $200 million of gold a month, they have proven that the appetite for sound money is alive and well in the American suburbs. They demystified the most intimidating asset class in history. They turned the barbarous relic into a Kirkland signature experience. And whether you're a gold bug or a skeptic, you have to respect the hustle. The Costco Whale is real, it is hungry, and it is swimming in a sea of gold. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe. And let me know in the comments. Would you trust buying gold from a grocery store, or do you prefer the old-fashioned coin shop? Until next time, keep stacking.